Hi, I'm Ray. So, we're in the third week of April already, and the sowing has been done, and we're doing really well. So, if you're following along, I've done a few jobs over the last 2 weeks, and I've put them on the channel, and you can see what I've grown the first week of April, and then week 2 of April. So today, we're on week 3 of April. So one of my first jobs to do is to harden off the leeks. These are the leeks I grew on Boxing Day, and there's a video of me sowing my onions and leeks on Boxing Day. We did 2 trays. The first one was in a tray, and the second one was in a pot. And you can see massive difference in the two. So these are going to go out into the vegetable garden this weekend, and they're going to go next to the carrots, so we can try and deter the carrot fly. So we've got onions one side of the carrots and leeks on the other side. So first of all, these are going to go outside, and we're just hiding them off. They're not in the greenhouse here, they're just going to sit on my workbench, and we're just going to hide them off and get them ready for planting out. So my next job is just potting on these tomatoes, and we've got a bigger pot, slightly bit bigger than what I wanted, but it's going to add a bit of compost to the bottom, add a tomato, so it's quite deep. Add the compost around. And that's our first tomato potted up. Try and get it as deep as we can so the stems can grow extra roots. So there's a few more of these to do, so I carry on potting these up and get that little job done. So now we're getting towards the end of April, and we're going to start our runner beans. And our runner beans we've got here are Scarlet Emperor, and these can be sown May, June outdoors, and harvest August, September. So we can use something quite deep. I'm using this cell tray, it's fairly deep. There's 6 to the cell. Can use toilet roll, cardboard. I do tend to find it goes a bit mushy by the time it's planting out. So I'm filling my seed tray with multi-purpose compost. Our frost date is, well, we say it's the first week of April, but we had a frost last weekend, so we can't take that for granted. So we'll have a look at our beans. And we've got a plant label too, which is a bonus. So if you can see our beans, and nice colours. And I'm going to put 2 in each cell. We've got quite a few. And I'm putting them on the edge because if they're laid flat, the water might sit on them and then they might rot. So 2 on each. I'll do another tray. Once the seedlings are ready to be transplanted, I'll add another bean under the tray, under the seedling, and then it can grow on a later day. And then we get successional sowing. So there's many ways we can sow a run of beans, grow them up of teepees, trellis. And I'll add a video about how to best grow the runner beans and the different ways of growing vertically. So I'm just covering over the top with the multi-purpose. And we've got our label. All we need to do is give it some water. And then that's going to go into the greenhouse. So now is a good time to be getting the late broccolis in. And this is our early purple sprouting. And I'm also doing autumn green calabrese. And I'm just doing these in a small tray. These were recycled from the garden centre. They had a pot section, somebody brought them in to recycle and we took them out and we got some free pots, and they're quite handy just for a small sowing. We don't want too many plants, so we don't need a massive big pot. We can do them in a normal sized pot in a cup. I like using these as they're quite effective for space. So we're doing early purple sprouting, and we've just put some compost down. We're adding our seeds. There's a normal broccoli looking seed, like a cabbage seed. And we're just sprinkling just a few along, not many, and then the rest are going back. We're doing exactly the same with the green autumn, and that's the same procedure. Sprinkle them along. There we go. And we're just going to cover with a light sprinkling of compost. So the next job on my list is to sort out the onions. These are the Boxing Day onions we grew with the leeks. So we need to separate these and put them into our bed. It's a bit of a windy day, not sure how much I'm going to show you, but we'll go on and do this. These are going next to the carrots. So carrots are in between the leeks, and in between the other row of carrots and garlics, and hopefully the carrot fly will get deflected from the smell of the carrots, from the leeks and the onions. So we're down the allotment today and we brought our onions down, and they're looking pretty good. These are the ones we did on Boxing Day. We sowed the carrots and the leeks on Boxing Day, and they've done pretty well. They've been sat in the greenhouse. Now it's time to go out. So these are going out in between the carrots going in between the leeks and onions, both over side, and hopefully the carrot fly will smell the onions instead of the carrots. That's the plan. So we're going to get these in next to the line of carrots, so let's get some down. So we've got one row of carrots, one row of purple carrots, and then the next row is going to be onions, and then leeks, and then the carrots in between the two, lots of onions should deter the carrot fly. So I need to rake this and get it a good tilth. So this is our onion seeds, and if we get underneath, we can pull some of the seedlings out, and then we can split them, and then we can individually plant every one of these in a nice neat line down the bed. We've also got a random plant here, so I'm just going to go all the way down and plant these down the bed. So I'm using a cane as a dibber, and we're going to start in this one. We're going to use a bit of excess cane for the length, and we're going to go along making some holes along our line. So we take our onion seedling, place it in the hole, firm it down, and we go all the way along the line doing the same process. So here we go. We have 32 onion plants, all nicely planted. Looking forward to grow on. Got loads left in the tray, so we can try and grow these in buckets. We'll take some home and grow them at home in the garden. So we've got the onions in the ground and they're looking pretty good, and we've got some spares, and we can use those in buckets. We can take some home and use them in the garden. So the next thing I'm going to do is to grow some parsnips, and these are going to go next to the onions. And remember to always use new seed for parsnips, as germination won't work if they're old. So we've got a new packet, this one being an old packet dated 2019. So it'd be interesting to see if they grow, but I'm not putting them in the allotment. Might do a little experiment, see if we can get them to grow. But these are the ones we're going to grow, tender and true. So for the parsnips, I'm just making a drill about 1/2 inch deep, all the way along our line. Then we're going to give it a water, and then we can add our seeds. So we've got our drill, we've given it a water, we've got our seeds, and then we're going to just spread them along, space them as far as we can. Trying to do one at a time, but it's a bit difficult. And we're going to go all the way along the line. So the seeds need to be in 1/2 inch deep and 60 centimetres between rows. All we need to do is give it a rake, cover them up, and then we're done. So once the seeds are done, all we do is just rake the soil over. And these are some parsnips that I've left in that are growing quite well. So another good week, a few bits and pieces done at home and on the allotment. So looking forward to harvesting. I've just seen some flowers on my strawberries. So if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe, ring that bell, get notifications when I post some more. So leave me a comment, what you're growing this weekend and what are your allotment jobs. Thank you very much. Cheers.